Hi, I'm Lio Cloud, creator of Axe and Die role-playing game system, and I'm here to show you how you make a character in Axe and Die. Ready, set, roll. It fell down. So this character's name is Nozick Razbarnis. He is an inspector for the police department in a fictional country, in a fictional city, in a futuristic cyberpunk setting. I had great fun playing him, I'm not gonna lie, and you're gonna see why in a moment. But we're gonna get to how you would make him mechanically to make a character. So on to backgrounds. So a character's background is how his past influences who he is. It's his story, how his life experiences, skills, upbringing, and choices he made make him who he is now. To do this, you're gonna have to think of 3 nouns. These will be keywords. The keywords for Inspector Nozick's background are skeptic, boxer, and policeman. Now write a paragraph describing your character's past using all of the keywords in them. For example, Inspector Nozick grew up in a religious community. Being distrustful by nature, he was a skeptic. This, combined with his big mouth, brought him plenty of trouble. Finding himself enjoying conflict and strife, he competed as a boxer. After an injury in a championship bout ended his career, he set upon being a policeman for a living. Now that we have an image of the character's past, it's time to look at his present. We look at his drives, the things that he does that make him who he is. A background is something in the past. Actions are in the present. Drives are what makes your character into who he is by what he does. Think of adjectives or verbs that relates to things your character does and wants. These are keywords. There are 3 types of drives: a major drive, a medium drive, and a minor drive. Nozick's drive is that he pursues justice. His medium drives is his involving himself with his ex-wife, even though they're divorced and they have a that's a thing of its own. He gets into fights often, he loves confrontation, and his minor drives is that he loves to sing Queen, so he sings Queen all the time. His favorite song is Mr. Bad Guy, Freddie Mercury song, you should check it out. He rejects technology, which is, kind of odd in a very high-tech cyberpunk setting, and he saves money, which is a very nice way of saying he's cheap. Your flares are your character's ways of doing things that define him. We call it style, and this character's, particular way that he does things is that he is brass and he is direct. The last part are his faculties, the capacities which he possesses. For this, Inspector Nozick is tough and he is clever. To review, this is how his character sheet would look like by now. I'm Mr. Bad Guy. Yes, I'm everybody's Mr. Bad Guy. In Axe and Die, each human being has 2 distinct dice pools, each representing a type of faculty he has. They are distinct but integrated into him as a whole. These are his physical capacities and his mental capacities. What he can do with his body and what he can do with his mind. Some settings have, supernatural powers like magic. Some of them have superhuman powers like cybernetics or psychic powers. In a round, you can use as many dice as you wish. They cannot be used twice. The result of the dice go forward making a specific action. When you use a dice, they downgrade at the end of the round. Downgrading means a dice becomes smaller. For example, a d6 becomes a d4, and the d4 is gone. At the end of the round, you can use edge points to stop a die from downgrading. You cannot use edge point from outside the pool they are in. They represent your stamina. Edge points are not expended after a round. Pool can only have 1 value of edge points. That means you cannot have 1 and 1 and 1. You have 1 number and it goes up to 2, 3, 4, etc. A character starts with 3d6 and 2 edge in his physical pool and 2d4 and 1 edge in his mental pool. A character then gets 5 points which he can use to upgrade his dice pools. Creating a d4 costs 1 upgrade point. You can create a d4 in an existing pool or in a new pool. Any dice pool other than physical or mental is a power pool. To upgrade a d4 into a d6 costs 2 upgrade points. A d6 into a d8 costs 3. To create an edge point in a pool without 1 in it already costs 1 upgrade point. Upgrading 1 edge point to 2 edge points costs 2. Upgrading 2 edge points into 3 costs 3 upgrade points. I'm going to take Inspector Nozick's dice pool and I'm going to make 3d6 and 2 heads in his physical pool into 1d8 and 2d6 and 2 heads in his physical pool. For his mental pool, I'm going to make 2d4 and 1 heads into 1d6, 1d4, and 1 heads in his mental pool. Now that you have a character, you can go on and get on to adventures and face difficult encounters. We're going to get to that next time. You can download the Player's Handbook Lite in the description for free. You can follow me on Patreon, Facebook, and YouTube. Furthermore, if you like this video, subscribe, like, and share it with another person who would want to play.